I've finally chosen what university I'd like to go to. It's going to be the one to the north of us here, Wilmore Tech. But having to think about your moneyless butt still being in this house is not a great thing for me. It's actually been annoying me so much lately that I can't focus on my future anymore, so let's do something about you. Why don't you start thinking about leaving soon? I'm sure my dad isn't even interested in you anymore, right? Cora? Why would you say something like that out of nowhere? Congratulations on getting accepted by the school you've been wanting to go to, but what's with you acting so rudely right now to me? This all is not just coming from nowhere, okay? I want to know, actually, why have you still been living here with us? I get that you and my dad are married to one another, but that relationship you guys had is long gone now. He's no longer happy with what you've been doing, and you are getting in the way of the amazing life my dad and I could be living with each other right now. So I'm asking that you go away right now. Why do you think I'm the one getting in the way of that so-called amazing life with your dad? From what I've felt, you've been better off having me around than the life you had with just your dad before, especially with the choices he's been making recently. I understand that you and him married, making you my mother on a technical level, but you're not really my mom. You're nothing to me, actually. Not family, not a friend. You're nothing. Now you get out of my dad's penthouse right now. Your dad's penthouse? Is he the one that asked you to tell me all this? I haven't been causing problems for you two so far, right? And I have most certainly not been getting in the way of you and your dad's life together. I have no clue why you'd say something like that to me right now, but aren't you aware that you might be a little confused here? I haven't misunderstood anything so far. I know everything about you already, so no need to try lying to me. You know everything about me? What all do you know then? Because so far what you've been saying is wrong, and it's all become very concerning for myself. I know one thing about you is that you use up all of my dad's money, and that's why he hasn't been able to give me any more money as my allowance. He's told me how much you love to go shopping and how you always spend too much on groceries every week. Huh? What do you mean? As far as I'm aware, I rarely ever go out to shop for things besides food because I never have the time to. And when it comes to buying food, the only reason I have to buy so much is because your dad is eating all the time. Please, I meant what I meant. Are you not able to understand even the most basic of English? It's so wonderful that a stupid hag like you was able to marry a man like my dad. Because of that, you've been given such a relaxing life where you don't have to do anything. Had it not been for him, these past 5 years of your life would have been hell, having to try and manage all by yourself. Had my dad married a competent woman, then I'm sure you'd be out there on the streets begging for money with a little coffee cup. I believe it's because of my own actions that I have the life I'm living now. I wouldn't say much of this is thanks to him. Actually, as of right now, the only thing your dad is giving me and this relationship is his cold shoulder. Wow. So you don't even know what all you should be greatly thankful for right now. Well, as you could already tell by now, I have hated living in this place with you. But for the longest time now, there was nothing I could do about it, so I've kept most of those feelings to myself. I'm no longer able to keep them to myself now, though. I don't want to be around you anymore in this penthouse. So if you're now aware of the pain and trouble you're causing my dad and I, you should get out of this place, right? No, I'm not going to be leaving this place. You really are one stubborn old hag. This is my own house, so I'm not going to just get up and leave because you've asked me to. If you are really wanting me to be the one to leave this house for you, then I'll make sure to stop making payments on this place and end my contract here. I don't plan on doing something like that, and I hope I won't have to either. You are the worst hag I have ever come across. Why do you keep talking about me like that? For 5 years now, I've been the one taking care of all your needs, right? While you've been in middle and high school, I've been the one taking care of you instead of your dad. And when it came to all of your events, I've been the one there cheering you on. So why are you treating me so poorly right now when I've done nothing but love and take care of you? Because you have been taking all that money my dad earns and using it all on yourself. There's no way I'm going to keep letting someone like that take advantage of my dad, okay? So that's where the confusion is. You happen to want money from your dad, and so you went asking about it. And when he told you it was my fault you aren't able to get me, you got upset with me. Well, let me tell you right now, whatever he's gone and told you is all a lie, Cora. Dad would never lie to me, all right? You can just shut your lying mouth up now. You shouldn't be saying things like that to me when I've been very kind to the both of you by letting you live in this penthouse with me. Oh, shut up already. You're the one being allowed to live here because of my dad's kindness. If you don't want to become some stinky old homeless on the side of the street, then hurry up and find yourself a new place to live. If you don't find somewhere soon, then you'll be kicked out of here and have nowhere to go. Excuse me? I've told you already that I'm not going to leave this place. Is that so? Then let me tell you what I'm really thinking. And I'm going to make sure you regret the way you're talking to me. I'm not going to regret a thing. I feel that you really need to figure out the truth right now before you make any stupid moves, all right? What have you been telling your daughter all this time, Carter? I think you need to start telling her the truth before she does something really stupid.
What do you mean start telling her the truth?
You know what I'm talking about. I have no idea why for a while now you continued to lie to her in order to cover up the truth. But you need to tell her the truth right now. She's your daughter and she deserves to know, right? Are you not embarrassed to be lying like that to her? I'm embarrassed hearing about how you've lied to her so far.
You can calm down now. She happens to be my daughter, so I'm the one who gets to decide what course she's on.
What course she's on? What kind of course are you trying to set her on with all those lies about you and I? You're making me look like the bad guy over here.
And what's wrong with that?
What?
Her and I are doing really well together right now. So why does it matter that I tell a few lies about you here and there? If anything, you're the outsider in this family, so you don't have a say in the life I have with her anyway.
Is that right? So there's no point in trying to help you here, is there? Understood. Then you can go ahead and keep telling her whatever you'd like. But I'm going to start doing what I want as well. I just handed in your guys' divorce papers. What? I have the right to do something like that for my dad, right? I am his daughter, after all. Now, I want this parasite out of the house right now. I have been telling you that what you think is going on has not been true. Trying to kick me out of this place is not going to work for you or for your dad, so you should have just stopped when I told you that. It's not going to work? I think this will work in ridding this house of you for good. The divorce has already happened now, so you're nothing more than a stranger again to my dad and I, which means you'll have to leave this house, right? I've not made any mistakes here because I'm not the one who's been confused this whole time. You have made a mistake, though, and this whole time you've been very confused about everything. Just stop it already with all that talk and leave. You're the one that my dad has been letting live in his penthouse this whole time, you hag. The courthouse has already processed the divorce papers, so you can go already. Your dad's going to be the one leaving this place then. What? You have really been pissing me off with all that talk there. I am done playing the nice parent, considering I'm no longer your parent in your eyes now. I never thought that the girl I've been kind enough to house and raise these past 5 years would hand in our divorce papers like that. But you really went and did it, didn't you? I've been saying that this whole time, haven't I? Which means it's all over for you. All over for me? Right. I'm pretty sure it's all over for you guys, though. What did you say? Thank you so much for taking the time to hand in our divorce papers for me. I'm thankful for that. So now that means you two need to get out of my place. What are you talking about? You probably won't understand what I'm talking about until after you're kicked out of the place. Also, considering that you just divorced your dad and I, that makes you a stranger to me as well. To be honest, I've thought of you as a stranger all this time. Were you aware that I was the one planning to pay for you to go to college? And have been the one paying for all of your school supplies? Huh? Pay for me to go to college? What are you talking about now? I'm going to stop bothering with all that now, and we'll even take back the money I paid in order to get you to graduate. You might have thought you had the upper hand here, but it's because of me that you were finally given a decent life to live. But the fact that you haven't even realized any of that yet, oh, you poor little thing. What is all of this about? All I'm hearing from you is some of the most stupid talk I've ever heard. You really think I'm going to listen to anything you're telling me right now? I know that my dad has been the one allowing you the chance to live a decent life. Trying to lie to me about all of that again isn't going to help you any. Lying to you? If you really still believe that I'm lying to you, then why not go ask your dad about this? Come on now, just shut up and leave this place already. Thank you again for handing in those divorce papers for me. And so because of that, I would like the two of you to please leave my penthouse. I feel really bad for you though, so I'll give the two of you a day to pack things up. But if you're not out of there by the end of the day tomorrow, then I'm going to call the police on you guys for trespassing. What the hell is all of this? You have no right or way of kicking us out of our own place. And I'm sure it's not only you who thinks that, right? What? What do you mean? I'll go and let your dad know about this right now for you. You and I have nothing else to talk about now. And once you and your dad are out of my house, I don't want you to ever talk to me again. Is that clear? I'd love for that. I never want to talk to you again anyway. And just know it's not us that will be leaving our house. It's going to be you and your lying mouth. One other thing, don't ever think of me as your mom again either. I'm sure you've never thought of me as your mother since you act like this now, but I just want to make sure you're aware of that. This is all to make sure you never bother me again. And of course, there will be no more money coming from me after this. I've never once cared to think of you as anything besides the housemaid. And I promise I'll never talk to your butt again. I'm going to get all the money I've paid out for your graduation and such back, so you'll have to pay that all somehow. Perhaps you can ask your lovely dad to pay all of that for you. Say whatever you'd like, you old hag. I already know you paying for my schooling and all of that is one fat lie, so just shut up if you understand that. Sure, as long as you want to continue believing that this is all in fact a lie. I've only been trying to tell you the truth this whole time, but soon you'll find out the truth. Goodbye forever now, Cora. Please leave for me by the end of the day tomorrow. Wait, we've really been kicked out of the house? What the hell is going on here? Do something about this. How am I supposed to do anything to help if you're saying that place isn't my home? Now, I told you yesterday to leave the place by the end of the day today, right? If anything, you should be happy that I've given you a day to get out instead of just throwing you and all your things out of my house. So, what's the problem here? You know that this is a huge problem. I was just kicked out of our house. Why the hell am I being kicked out of there for no reason? Your dad already talked with you about this, so you should understand by now. What have they been teaching you guys in school if not basic English comprehension? Well, to reiterate for you, that house is mine, not yours. My house. And today, I asked for the security of that building to go up and manage you both. I told them that you no longer have the right to live there with me and to escort you both away. I was right to do that, wasn't I? I heard from Dad that you weren't lying to me, and that's why we've been kicked out of the house, but are you serious? So you're telling me this whole time I wasn't being told the truth? Not being told the truth? About what? I've told you the truth about everything and never tried to hide anything from you or your dad. The only problem was that you never bothered listening to me, instead labeling all that I was talking about as a lie. Or perhaps, could it be that your dad has been lying to you this whole time? You've always believed everything your dad has told you, right? I told you the truth about him, though, didn't I? There is absolutely no way my dad is unemployed right now. Why would my dad ever lie to me about something like that? Awesome. So you've finally come around to realizing that your dad is in fact jobless at the moment. It's been a year now since your dad lost his job. I want to know I've been lied to. Why would he have any reason to lie to me about something like that? To protect his pride is what his reasoning was. I'm sure it would be embarrassing for him, having to tell his own daughter that he's a failure and a dick. Are you calling my dad a failure and a dick now? I am. Are you going to fight me about it? I sure as hell am. You're talking about my dad like that. Let me tell you right now that I no longer care about you or your dad's feelings. Any love that I did have for you both now is gone and replaced by ice. You wanted for this though, right? You were the one that wanted the divorce after all. But no worries, as I've been longing for a divorce myself. Huh? Are you being serious about that right now? But the only reason I never went and divorced him was for your sake. Why mine? I cared about you having an education. To be honest, I've hated your dad for a long time now, and for various reasons. This whole year, he's not been working any and has been cheating on me with other women. And when it comes to the way he uses my money, it's atrocious. But if I were to divorce him because of any of that, then you would most definitely not be able to pay for college. Your dad has no way of paying for your graduation or next step. I felt bad leaving you with him as your only parent, and that's why I put up with his crap. I really thought that I could put up with everything until your graduation, but I was wrong. You're lying, right? Is that all true? I never heard anything about all of that. But I told you that everything I'm saying is the truth. So you're telling me all of this was because you've been thinking of me? That's what I'm saying. Stop acting like this is all beyond reality for you or something. That's just rude. But I guess at this point it is beyond reality. You were the one that went and handed in the divorce papers, so there's no way to help you now. But I had no idea about what was really going on with you. And that's your problem, right? That all has nothing to do with me now. Right now, I've just had 2 huge weights lifted off my shoulders, and I'm feeling really lucky. Oh, wait a second. Don't say something like that at a time like this. So, what's going to happen with my tuition and graduation? Am I still going to be able to go to college? I was planning to pay for your first year there. But I no longer plan on giving you any money for school, as you're not my responsibility now. Then, what's going to happen to me? What's going to happen to you? Get a job and pay for all that yourself. That, or you can force your dad to get off his ass and get some work done again. You can't say that! Like I was saying before, your dad never paid for any of your school supplies. I was the one that did all that, but I'm not sure why I did all of that now. Like I said, I'm going to take back the money I gave to pay for your graduation. So there was no reason to pay for your supplies to learn in high school in the first place, right? Huh? Are you freaking kidding me? You've already paid for me to graduate and everything? Oh, you'd be a real dick if you took that money back. Then what's going to happen to me after, with college and all that? I'm not going to be able to pay for all that. I know that. You can't pay for any of that, especially in your current situation. But that's something your dad and you are going to have to figure out now. You guys ruined the relationship I was willing to have with you two, so now it's on your shoulders to fix things. Just do your best and get a job. Well, actually, before that, you two are going to need to find a house, right? We don't have anywhere to live, so how are we supposed to carry on? Where the hell are we supposed to go now? Hey, I don't care about any of that, actually. What? Why do you keep asking me for help? Go and ask that wonderful dad of yours to help you figure all that out. You both are just strangers to me, nothing more. A family issue like that should be resolved within the family. I have nothing else to talk with you about now. Wait, you're a part of this family, though. Excuse me? Do you have any idea what you just said to me? You really have a crazy brain inside that head. Stop saying ridiculous things like that. I'm not crazy. Just yesterday we were both living our lives normally as a family, right? And you were still married to my dad, right? Yet now you're just acting like we're nothing to you. Don't you feel like a monster for acting like that right now? A monster? I'm not really sure what you're trying to get at there, but what about yourself? You were the one that handed in divorce papers in order to get your own parents divorced. And you were so happy to see me become homeless because of it, right? I'm sure I was all happy about that then. Not sure. You were acting all happy about that. If you just took a look at what you told me yesterday, you'd understand that, right? I know you're still just a child and all, and that's why I wanted to give you a good start when it came to being an adult. I was trying my best to take care of you because your disgraceful dad couldn't be bothered to. But in the end, the only person you ever listened to was your lying dad. Everything I tried to do for you all this time was for nothing, I see. Wait, but I didn't think things would end up this way for all of us. I just assumed it was because of my dad that things were going so well between us. And when he told me you were taking his money, I thought he was telling me the truth. And that's led you down this path of terrible confusion that you were believing all to be real, right? Well, this is how things have ended up for us. You and that moneyless dad of yours will have to go out and find a new house now. And you're going to have to start working in order to pay for school and everything. That's the new life you've just chosen for yourself. Don't say things like that. This was not something I wished for. Well, whatever. I know that I was wrong for all of it now. I'm so sorry for handing in those divorce papers. We can come back in now, right? Huh? What are you talking about now? What? I thought that by apologizing to you that you'd forgive me now. You're not going to? You're asking for my forgiveness? Well, that doesn't matter anymore now that you and I are complete strangers. You will never be allowed back inside my house. The security here will make sure of that. What? So you're really kicking us out of there? We can't come back inside? Good luck with that house hunting. Are you freaking listening to me? Isn't this wonderful? I will no longer be in the way of you and your dad's wonderful life anymore. You can be close to your favorite dad forever now. But of course, your favorite dad happens to be both a complete dick and jobless. Cora tried her best to act as though things were all going to be okay and that her apologies were forgiven, and even tried to force her way back into the building. But before she could even get to the elevator, the security there picked her up and took her back outside the building before locking the doors. And ever since then, she's not tried getting back into my house and had no longer been trying to contact me either. So for her, she's now stuck with the man she trusted so much, realizing now that he is indeed trash. I also got all the money back that I gave her for graduation, so it's not looking like she's going to be at that ceremony. And as for getting into the college she wants, that most likely won't be happening soon either. The only option she has now is to force her dad to work again or find a job herself and hope she can save up any money for her future education. And speaking of her dad, actually, he has still had relations with one of the women he was cheating on me with. So I suppose a third option for Cora would be to have her dad ask that woman for support and money and hope that she's anywhere close to as kind as I was. I guess things didn't really turn out the way Cora wanted after all. But that's what happens when you choose to ignore the open truth.